And just like that, February 2023 smashed through the ceiling of 2022. Look at that price growth between January and February. It actually blown past every single price point last year. And last year was a very busy year for Calgary. We actually broke a lot of records. So does this mean that we're going to see a continued price increase all throughout the year, or is this just maybe some seasonal adjustment? So I guess we'll have to stay tuned and find out. Hello, my name's Adam Fyfe, your Calgary Realtor. If you're looking to make a plan or create a strategy for 2023, go ahead and book a call. The link is in the description. So like usual, we're going to start this off with a year-to-date stats package for February 2023. Now, you can see that the sales have went up to 315, which is actually the highest it's been since October 2022. You can see that the sales somewhat peaked in March and then had a steady decline ever since. Now, townhouses actually held very strong compared to other products in Calgary. You can see that the new listings was up to 361, which is great to see. The most new listings that we've seen since September of last year. And the inventory is at 327. So the inventory to new sales and new listings is actually quite tight. 315, 361, and then 327. Like, those are very tight numbers, and I can understand why the price point has actually jumped from 61 to 69 from January to February. Now, the days on market did drop to 34 days, which is not that great compared to some of the things that we saw last year, 20 days, 24 days, but we're getting down there. And you can see that the benchmark price is now at 370,000. Next, before we continue on, I do want to bring this chart back up and talk about a couple things. Now, first of all, I would like to point out in February 2023, you can just see how close sales and inventory is. They're basically neck and neck. The last time we saw this was actually February of last year, and then March. Sales actually outpaced inventory. You can see in April, May, June, there was a big switch with the rise of interest rates causing the price to stabilize. But now with the stabilization and even just the holding of the interest rate that was held this morning, you can see that we might actually see some price increases. So the Bank of Canada, like I was just trying to say, did hold their interest rate this morning. It didn't go up higher than 4.5%. So I would have to assume that Calgary housing is going to continue on this upward trend, but let's dive into it a little bit deeper. So next on the list is going in and looking at what each quadrant of Calgary is doing, and we're finding out where the demand is. You can see that the sales to new listing ratios are hovering around 90%. Northeast of Calgary actually saw one more sale than they did new listing, putting that percentage over 100, where everything else is looking to be in a seller's market, but not as bad as what I would anticipate it to be with such a crazy increase in price. Going along, and you can see the month of supply, everything is at 1 month, which is very clearly a seller's market. You can see that the north and the south are actually under 1 month of supply. So if no new buyers, no new listings came onto the market, there would only be 1 month before everything is said and gone. So you can see that even the city center is 1.45, which is a seller's market for townhouses. Now, moving on to the right-hand side, these are the price point here. You can see that the city center is sitting around 525 for a townhouse, where East Calgary is sitting at 207. So pretty big difference there. You can look at the year over years. There's still a couple double digits in there, which is kind of cool to see, considering that we anticipated having negatives going into this year, seeing that the market wasn't really expected to rise as much as it has been. So Northeast, South, and Southeast all have double-digit price growth year over year. Now, finally, month over month, and this is where it actually gets quite interesting. So on the far right, you can see the actual price point that I've filled in manually, what happened over the last month, and then on the left, you can see some of the percentages. So city center seeing the biggest increase month over month, whereas places like Southeast for townhouses didn't get that big of an increase, but Southeast apartments, if you've watched my other video, actually had a crazy increase in price. So it's pretty cool to see the differences here between apartments and townhouses. So let's try to power through a few of these graphs to get a better picture of what's going on. And this first one here is the sales by price point. You can see that the yellow bars last year and the red bars this year. Last year, there was a very big difference in the amount of sales that occurred in January, February in 2022 compared to these first 2 months this year. You can see that the $300,000 to $400,000 price point is by far the strongest, whereas the $400,000 and then closely followed by the $200,000 price point are not as active, but they're still seeing some movement. Now, the next one here is total sales, year-to-date sales. So you can see it goes all the way back to 2013. We still are above 10-year averages, and we are on our way up. Now, they do look like they're roughly around the 2014, 2021 era. But when you look at this next graph here, this is new listings, and you can see that we're below the 10-year average. So just like single family and apartments, if there were more new listings in the townhouse sector, we would probably see a little bit less of an increase in price. So right now, the demand is so strong and there's not enough new listings coming to the market that pricing is getting higher and higher as more offers are being submitted on less homes. So hopefully in the next few months, more sellers come to the market to help balance this conditions. And finally, the price chart growth for Calgary. Now, this only goes back to 2018. You can see there was actually some decreases going from 2018 to 21, and then a small increase into 22, and then 2023 was a very big year for Calgary. We had that massive spike at the first quarter of the year, and then it tapering off. Now you can see in 2023, we're back on that trajectory. So where's it going to land? I'm not really sure. But if you're looking to make a strategy for 2023, you want to step into the market, buy or sell, let me know. Go ahead and book a call. The link is in the description. Thank you very much for watching these videos, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.